Hello, it's Yellow, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great, and I got a comedy story time for you guys. So sit back, relax, grab something to eat and drink, and enjoy. So this happened like last summer, and my entire family decided to rent this massive villa outside of town for a week. And when I say massive, I mean unnecessarily big. Like we had rooms we didn't even go to because they looked like they belonged to ghosts or rich people from the 1800s. There were at least 20 of us, so probably more. At some point, I lost count because people just kept appearing out of nowhere like NPCs loading into a game. Everything started normal, too normal, which should have been a warning. People were swimming, grilling, arguing about something I don't know, but standard family stuff. My uncle was acting like the grill was a life or death mission. My aunt was already complaining about something, and the little kids were screaming like they had unlimited energy and no consequences. And then the star of the show arrived. My older brother, who we're gonna call Toby for this story time. And he was late, obviously, walking in like he owns the place, carrying three boxes like some suspicious delivery guy. And I immediately go to him like, yo, why do you have three boxes? And he goes, relax. And that's just it, just relax. That's when I know we were finished. So he disappears into the kitchen for a while, acting weirdly secretive. At one point, I walk past and he's just standing there, staring at the boxes like he's planning something illegal. I should have stopped him, but I didn't. Fast forward to the evening, everyone's eaten. The adults are chilling with drinks, music is playing, vibes are good. Too good. And Toby finally brings out the boxes and opens them like it's some grand reveal. Brownies. And everyone's like, oh, nice. And I'm just standing there like, oh no. And I ask him, like, Toby, what kind of brownies are those? He looks me dead in the eyes and goes, oh, don't worry about it. Bro, that's not an answer. But before I could say anything else, he cuts them up and just leaves them out, like it's a public service. No labels, no warning, no explanation. Just chaos sitting on the table. And people started to dig in. At first, it's us cousins, and we're like, okay, we know what's going on, so fuck it, let's do it. But then it spreads like a virus. My aunt grabs two. Then third one. My uncle takes two immediately, like he's training for something. Someone hands one of to my other uncle, like it's a recommendation. Even my grandparents get involved. And I remember my poor grandma, God bless her soul, she said, oh, these are delightful. And I had to walk outside because I physically couldn't process what was about to happen. Now here's where it goes from bad idea to full disaster. About an hour later, things start glitching, like reality itself is lagging. People are laughing too much. Conversations are going nowhere. Someone asks a question and forgets it halfway through asking it. Then it escalates fast. My little cousin is standing at the edge of the pool going, why does it look like that? It looked normal, by the way. One of my uncles sits down and misses the chair, just fully commits to sitting and ends up on the floor like gravity betrayed him. My aunt is staring at a bowl of chips like she's trying to understand its purpose in the universe, and then it gets worse. Way worse. I walk into the kitchen and my cousin is opening and closing the fridge repeatedly. And I go, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, yo, bro, it's different every time. Oh man, it's not different, it's normal, and he'd been doing that for like 5 minutes. Then I walk into the living room and my other cousin is clapping. Just clapping slowly. No music, no rhythm, no reason. And I go, bro, why are you clapping? He goes, I don't know, and just starts laughing, which, fair enough. Meanwhile, Toby is walking around like everything is fine. He comes to us and he's like, guys, you're overreacting. And I look at him like, what the fuck do you mean overreacting? My uncle is currently trying to pour a drink into a plate. A plate! But the absolute peak chaos moment, guys, my mom walks in. She looks around the room and sees at least 12 people acting like they've entered another dimension. Someone's laughing on the floor, someone else is whispering to a plant. My grandpa is sitting perfectly still, smiling like he just solved life. And my mom goes, what is happening? and it was just silence. And then my aunt starts laughing, then everyone starts laughing, and that was the worst possible outcome because she slowly turns directly to Toby. She goes, Toby, and he actually tries to say, I think everyone's just really relaxed. At that exact moment, one of the kids runs past yelling, the floor is moving. By the way, the floor was of course not moving. The poor kid was seeing some things, and that was it. That was the end. Everything spirals. People are lying everywhere. Some are way too giggly, others are just staring into nothing like they're buffering. My grandma grabs my arm at one point and she goes, why is that lamp so interesting? I looked at the lamp, it was a normal ass lamp. I said, I don't know, and I walked away immediately because I was not qualified to answer that. And then I go outside. Big mistake. Half the family's out there too. One of my uncles is laying on a sunbed, sunglasses on, at night by the way. Another cousin is trying to balance on completely flat ground. Someone else is convinced that they can hear the wind talking. And meanwhile, the little kids are running around like it's the best day of their lives. Pure chaos. And then the final boss arrives. Our dad, who is usually a super funny chill guy, but when he yells, well, I would rather have my mom beat the shit out of me twice. He walks in, looks around, processes everything in about 3 seconds. He knows. He knows everything. He doesn't yell, and that's how you know that it's serious. He just walks up to Toby and goes, outside. Now, I have never seen Toby lose confidence so fast in my life, and Toby is the type of person which thinks he owns the world, you know? And the next morning, complete silence. The most unnatural silence I've ever heard. Everyone looks like they just survived something. People are sitting at the table, staring into space, trying to reconnect with reality, and my aunt goes, oh, I had the strangest evening and you were there. And my grandma asked why she was laughing so much and no one answered. My uncle asks why there was a plate in the sink with juice in it. Of course, no one answers. And Toby's life is over. First, our dad beat the shit out of him and made him do some stuff. So, step one, apologies to everyone individually. I watched him apologize to our grandparents and I had to leave the room because it was too painful. And by that I mean I was laughing my ass off. Because imagine him trying to explain that situation politely. Impossible. But the punishment, legendary. For the rest of the entire trip, Toby became the head chef. He was cooking for 20 people 3 times a day. He was the cleaner of everything, and I mean everything. He was the babysitter for all the kids, and they did not make it easy for him. He was an official errand runner, in case someone needed anything, and problem fixer for any complaint. I swear I complained to him that my back hurts and that I needed a massage like at least 5 times a day. And he had to stay completely reasonable the whole time. No relaxing, no escaping. Day 1, stressed. Day 2, exhausted. Day 3, this man looked like he aged 10 years. At one point, I walked past him in the kitchen and he was washing dishes in silence. He looks at me and just says, bro, I made a huge mistake. And I said, yeah, that happens when you accidentally turn a family gathering into chaos. And the teasing, relentless. Every time someone laughed randomly, someone added like, careful, Toby's at it again. And every time dessert showed up, who made it? Is it safe? Even the kids got in on it. Like one of them asked him like, are you allowed to make food anymore? And I almost died. The kid was like 5 years old or 6, something like that. And by the end of the trip, Toby was done. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you name it. He was done. And the worst part, this story will never die. Like every single family gathering now includes at least one person going, remember the villa? And everyone laughs. Of course, Toby doesn't, and he has not brought dessert to anything ever again. Not once. And honestly, I think he's still trying to recover from the chaos he unleashed. And we will never let him forget that. Guys, the moral of the story is simple and easy to remember. Don't be stupid and actually think about your actions before you do them. And that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. touch some grass if you haven't, and as always, stay yellow.